SCPSL's biggest update after 14.0 has just been revealed to the public, and there's a lot to unpack. From the new SCP weapon to so many great visual upgrades and room reworks, this update is definitely one hell of an experience. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. First of all, let's talk about the cards and armor rework. I guess Northwood just had enough of everybody bullying Paul Blart and Combine, so now each level of armor you're wearing will be visible on your character. Here's how civilians look with no armor, and here's how civilians look with light, combat, and heavy armor. And if you thought Paul Blart looks like a badass, then just look at this design for the Chaos Insurgency, like, god damn! The Doomslayer looks like a pussy compared to this guy. And of course the MTF model also received a nice glow up and finally a helmet. Now if this isn't absolute cinema, then I don't know what is. Next big rework is the keycards rework. Now apparently people struggle telling them apart in the dark, and colorblind people couldn't tell them apart whatsoever, since well they all look the same except for their color. So they split the cards in 4 different categories and gave them all a unique design. The civilian keycards remain mostly in the same shape and form. However, they will also now include the name of its owner and these dots that represent the level of permission it has. The other keycards will also include these features, just in different shapes, like for example the management keycards, which have this curve. The MTF cards have the most unique design and also include this keyring, which doesn't do anything, but you can spin it, so that's cool I guess. Though the O5 keycard definitely has the coolest new design. Oh right, and the Chaos hacking device has also been turned into a Game Boy. But the best part about the keycard rework is that now you'll be able to create your own custom keycards. If you're a server owner, you can create whatever keycard you want with its own name, colors and permission, which is something that will open endless possibilities for modded servers. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, SCP-127. This is a brand new SCP item which looks just like your average submachine gun, but plot twist, this thing is a living being. You can find it in its new containment chamber, which will definitely make all of the kids playing this game piss themselves. This gun can talk and will respond differently to situations it finds itself in.
It's going way better than expected. Oh, sweet oxygen. I missed you.
It doesn't use traditional ammo like 9mm, but instead it shoots its own teeth out, or well, at least I think that's it, which means you won't have to search for any ammo. However, you will have to chamber the gun every now and then as it regenerates bullets. It has a 60 bullet mag and a fire rate of 750 rounds per minute, which for reference is equally fast as a crossfac. The gun is also apparently afraid of being inappropriately touched, so no, you can't put any attachments on it. And if you thought that's everything, both you and the gun will also grow stronger as you use it. While holding it, you will generate a small hume shield which can stack with 8 HP, though this shield will slowly vanish if you don't have the gun equipped. However, the neat thing is that every gun stats such as penetration, bullet accuracy, bullet regeneration speed, and even your hume shield generation will increase as the gun ranks up. For the first rank, you'll need to deal 1000 points of damage with the gun. For the second rank, you'll need another 1500 points of damage. However, each kill gives you a bonus 150 points and also instantly restores some ammo, though keep in mind all of these numbers are subject to change as the beta goes on. This SCP in total has over 100 voice lines, and you can find the full list of them in the translation files of the game. Another cool rework this update brings is the door panels rework. Before this rework, the panels were pretty basic, and well, they are still pretty basic but have been modified to be understandable by even the biggest of idiots. You can't read? No problem. Now the regular doors have these icons that perfectly represent what the door is doing. It also has new special icons for when it gets stalked by a ghost light, or for when the nuke or decontamination process are going down. The doors that take a keycard to open now include these icons that represent 3 levels of permission. How many icons are active represents what level of permission you need to open it, and if you try opening it with a card that lacks permission, it will glow to show you what permission you're missing. This change has also been applied to lockers, the nuke button, and the generators. Oh, and speaking of lockers, the experimental weapon lockers have a new sound they play when you open them. No idea why they added this, but sure, why not. The classic lockers that spawn around the facility have also been completely reworked and are much easier to use now. Besides this locker change, this update also brings numerous changes and improvements to other parts of the game. For example, the sky has received the RTX update, and so did 106 Pocket Dimension, which also now has its own ambient soundtrack. 049's upper part of containment was transformed into a storage area. A much requested feature was finally added, and that's the setting which allows you to opt out of spawning as an SCP, meaning you'll never get spawned as an SCP again unless in extremely rare circumstances where, for example, the whole server opts out. SCPs don't receive fall damage when falling from big heights. It's almost non-existent, however it does reset your hume shield regeneration cooldown. I'm surprised this wasn't added earlier because it doesn't exactly make sense for a humanoid doctor or a dog to fall from Mars all the way down here completely undamaged. And speaking of the SCPs, SCP SCP-3144 has been returned to the remote admin, meaning he can now appear in your games if the server's owner allow it. Workstations take only 1 second to load now compared to the previous 2 to 3 seconds, and there's also a new card spawn in PT-00. The new ambient sounds have been added around the facility, aka the music that plays when you're alone. There's now a proper paper in front of every containment chamber that shows you what SCP it contains, and the most important change of all, they finally gave the surface zone a rework. They added these floodlights which just move around and provide light. Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint, but that's all, though I'm still surprised we got any kind of surface change before GTA 6. You can also now spawn capybaras through the remote admin. There's a new keycard which spawns in 049's containment chamber which can only open the gates but only once. The micro HID has been a tiny bit tweaked, with the main change being that you can now hear it from twice the distance. And the last on the list are some minor but very game changing door permission updates. The candy room's door now only requires a containment access 1, which means cards like the janitor card, zone manager and the guard card can open it. Plus, the intercom can now be opened with administrator level 1. God bless whoever decided on this, since we all know there's always that one guy that hides behind these doors for the whole round. There's also been quite a few minor changes throughout the facility, a few balance changes and many bug fixes. But it isn't anything worth talking about here. However, if you want to see the full changelogs for yourself, I'll leave them linked in the pinned comment. Anyways, that will be it for this changelog. Make sure to subscribe to stay updated with the most important SCP-SL changes, strategies and challenges. And oh, I'm curious, do you like this update as much as I do? Let me know in the comments. Thank you a lot for watching and I'll see you next time.